no one got to join us on our breath work if you're watching this. However, if you were, feel free to do something to drop into this space. If not, welcome to the Renaissance Explorers. So I'm going to share a little bit of a slideshow with us all today. It's going to be here. All right. So why did we choose this campfire image over the incredible Milky Way galaxy universe that we're operating in? This is the kind of the energy that we want to be holding here, the feeling of this. This is friends sitting around a campfire discussing future possibilities, ideating the systems that we're able to create and step into. So why we call it Explorers is because this is a new territory. None of us necessarily know what this world looks like, what the new territory is. We're exploring it together. So we abandon any of the usual terms of like academy or university or course or anything that's denoting this idea that there's someone that's the knowledgeable, the person that's knowing, and then everyone else is there to learn from that person or learn from that institution. But what we're doing here is we're co-exploring. We're all on this journey together. What this journey is the Renaissance writ large. So it's not necessarily just seeds, although that is a big focus here. It's what seeds can do for the Renaissance. But seeds is just one tool as we're going to start unpacking throughout this journey. It's one way that we can help initiate these new cultures that we're stepping into and creating. So really this space is about exploring the bounds of what this Renaissance is. Yeah. There's three main spaces to the Renaissance Explorers. There's going to be the inner landscape, which is an exaggeration of what we just started here, which is really about exploring the inner realms. I'm going to let someone else explore or share that a little bit more, but it comes first. It comes on Monday. That's about cohering this group, understanding each other a little bit more, and exploring future possibilities. So this is to help, cultivate and, prepare the soil, so to speak, because the next space is the outer landscape. This is what we're creating. And this landscape, it's more getting into the actual tools and structure that is seeds and the different tools that we're using. So this is the more practical and grounded aspect of what we're doing here. And then the final space is around storytelling, and that comes last. And that's then reflecting back on the previous two spaces and projecting out how we want to tell the story, creating content. Each one is about 60 to 90 minutes. They might be shorter. 90 minutes is as long as they're going to go. We're going to aim for about 30 to 60 minutes, but really we want to keep the time as much as we need and never longer. So we do want to be pretty efficient with everyone's time here. So with that being said, I'm going to actually move pretty quickly through this. Inner space. I'm going to pass this to Anna or Justin, if he's here, to introduce.
I will take this on.
Oh, Max is taking it on, as I was.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So the inner space, exactly what Reiki just said, is an extension of what we just did. It's there to increase our capacity to explore these spaces from a spacious realm of endless possibilities, a place that people might consider chaos, but if you open up to it, it's the emergence of all the things that want to come into existence from the future right now, here in the present. And so it's really about connecting to a higher level of awareness and bringing this into the space of creation. And of course, the main tool for this will be practices, just as we had now, meditations, and we all like to share and contribute to the space and learn from one another to perceive the world in a new and different way, because we don't want to go back to building old things with old methods. We want to find new ways, and the inner space is there to open ourselves up to this. Thank you very much.
Beautifully said, Max. Moving on, we have the outer space. I'm going to pass this to Julio to introduce this.
Hi there. So yeah, after we are inspired by an inner space, by looking to our own hearts and understanding why we are here, then we connect to this outer space that we connect to what we are doing here. So for this space, we need more structure. We need more. We are seeing ourselves like architects or builders. We are trying to understand this new reality that we want to live in and try to propose changes. And these sessions will be around the seeds game guide. So we will be going through uh, the sessions on the guide and going through what's there, what's coded already in smart contracts. So these sessions are more, I mean, connected to practice and reading. There's a lot of reading going on as we try to understand what's there, because it's very complex right now and we want to make it simpler. But the first step is to try to understand what's there. So then after we do this first step, we can go ahead and eventually propose changes and do all kinds of experimentation, exploring on what's there, because what's there is just the initial stepstone. So we can, it's one vision that we brought, that we, how we see this renaissance, and by our joint effort, the idea is that we can evolve from there. So we separated the guide in 4 modules. One is organization, and then there is governance and finance and economics, because these are the modules, or the ground modules for this renaissance that we see. And so the sessions basically will go through the guide, and as we go through the guide, people can spark ideas of how do we want to propose a change. And we want to have a very structured way of proposing changes. So we are having maybe working groups around the changes that are going to be proposed. And eventually these working groups are not part of the main sessions. So if you want to, you can start working groups around the many parts. So, and this structure actually is going to be built together with us. So this is just the general idea. And yeah, so welcome all. This is a very nice exploration, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
And I'll be co-hosting the outer space with Julio. So to add a little bit more, it's half theoretical, going over the game guide and doing future experiments of what the system might look like, because some of it's not active yet. But the other half is going to be incredibly practical. For example, some of you have been participating in seeds governance already, and there's a lot of discussion and dialogue around changing and evolving how the governance system is already working. So this will be some of the topics that we're exploring in the outer spaces, looking real time of what we're doing in governance and how we might change it, coming up with proposed solutions, and then bringing that to the citizens of Seeds and actually proposing different changes to the game real time. So that's kind of it's a really active space and very practical and grounded in that sense. Okay, moving on. We have storytelling, and now I'll pass it to Anna.
Thank you. Yes, this beautiful storytelling space, which is already quite active, with already a fellow couple of explorers here in this call, part of the core team. This is about the story that we're telling here. And we have a multi-layered purpose in the storytelling space, which is, first of all, a purpose of memento, sense-making, understanding what's happening here and telling the story of the Renaissance explorers. We also have the purpose of accessibility, and creating media and in any shape or form to make whatever it is that is happening here in this Renaissance explorer space accessible to others in fun, enjoyable, interesting, inspiring ways. And we also have one purpose, which is the most meta, I would say, which is co-creation. What is the story that we are actually co-creating here from a higher perspective? What is the story that we want to co-create all together? what is this new paradigm that we're here to build? What is this regenerative renaissance that we all talk about? What does it look like? What is the new story? Because that's what we're going to keep in the end, in a certain sense. So if you're interested in this space, please reach out. We also do a bunch of arting, as we've been calling, which you can see in the slides. Those drawings and paintings were made by a couple of our core team members from the storytelling space. And during our sessions, we just start creating art for no reason other than opening up the portals to this renaissance altogether. And we're also actively looking for people to engage in the creation of the Codex, which was previously named the Renaissance Explorers Handbook. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
And just because they're so beautiful, I want to name them. The art you are seeing in this slideshow today was done by Apostle. So incredible stuff, brother.
And Max.
And Max, as I was, both of these awesome humans. Thank you. All right, so those are the three main spaces. So they consist of 3 different calls where we really hone in on each one of those and really ensure that we're getting enough space and time to explore. Some final thoughts. So the Renaissance Explorers, it's a new type of organization, and this is something we're all going to be co-building together. So it likely, maybe, and might take a form of its own due, which is what Haifa is, but also Samara, which some of you are familiar with. Renaissance Explorers is going to be something that's separate from Haifa. A big part of this is we need to decentralize the wisdom and kind of the gatekeeping of who controls seeds. So up until now, Haifa has been, the one primarily developing and ideating the seeds ecosystem. That's not a healthy model to have, and Haifa needs to be one organization of many nodes that are helping craft this seeds ecosystem. So Renaissance Explorers is a pretty significant effort in creating a different type of institution separate from Haifa with its own memorandum that's focused on actually evolving the game. So it'll be a new type of organization. It is going to, well, very likely going to get funding from Haifa itself as an incubator funding, but then it might get funding from seeds as well. But that's also something we're going to be exploring in the outer space as we go through the organization and economics and all the sessions, really. We're going to be creating our own organization and putting up proposals and actively playing the game to build our own type of organization here. Because the next step here is better than free learning. We want to pay ourselves for contributing to this paradigm. Why wouldn't we? So there's a couple different capacities here. So for people who are just attending the session, showing up and participating in these 60, 90 minutes, that's one type of tier. And we want to make sure you're compensated for showing up, bringing your wisdom and participating in this journey, and of course, helping craft a new type of economic system. But there's going to be higher tiers for people who take on, core roles as they're currently called, but I'm sure we can find a fancier name. And that's going to be part of this new Renaissance Explorers organization. So if you're really called to this, if you're looking to step into this new paradigm full on, there is opportunities to pick up roles and start getting compensated, half-time, full-time, whatever you can give to start creating these new structures. A third intention of this group is for these things called Constitution Guardians. This is also, as with everything here, it's something we're going to be co-creating here. It's part of the game guide, but these are going to be the people who are going to hold the keys of Seeds itself. Meaning if there's new code that wants to be brought to Seeds, so it's not just a settings change, it's something that wants to completely change how Seeds is operating. There's always these constitutional guardians, which is a certain number of people who are literally holding the keys to say, yep, that new code is going to be able to get updated into these contracts. And this is, decentralized, and there's a lot of game theory to go in to make sure that this can't be, manipulated. But anyway, we want to help people understand the game to such a degree that they can play this role as Constitution Guardians, which is also a compensated role within the Seeds ecosystem itself. So part of this journey is to get people who, might be prepared to be constitutional guardians. And on the back end of that is also people to get their, to be, what's the word I'm looking for here? to receive delegations for votes. So within Seeds itself, people can delegate their vote to other people if they don't want to participate in governance themselves. What we're also wanting to do here as Renaissance Explorers is get a group of people who really understand the game and they can promote themselves to go ahead and have others delegate their voice to them so that they can start, stewarding the evolution of this game with a little bit more certainty. So that's another part, is we want to decentralize the wisdom. Again, take it out of just Haifa, where it's been kind of concentrated up until now, and move it into other organizations, into other people in this ecosystem to really help Seeds further decentralize. Because we can be technically decentralized, but if there's a small group of people who understand how the code works and nobody else does, then it's not really decentralized. So that's a big part of this journey, is to make sure that it is truly decentralized by making sure that that wisdom is equally held. A fourth part of this journey is collective wisdom for the game guide. So the same thing that we did with the Constitution over that 18-month period, we want to do with the game guide. So right now we have draft 1, but we want to take it through the ringer. We want to bring it through the wisdom that all of you are holding, bring up the protocols, try to justify them. That's going to be my role here, is to kind of give you some of the thinking that's gone behind the current protocols, and see how best we can evolve them, and then craft a version 1.0. So what you're going to see next month is the Constitution itself is actually getting proposed to get ratified by the citizens. And if it is, it's the official Constitution. We want to do that same process with the game guide. Bring it through, prepare a version 1.0 to actually go for vote and be the official game guide. And that's going to be the official start of the Seeds game, where after that, the game guide could only be changed through Seeds governance, which would be pretty cool. Next thing is we're exploring. So I kind of brought this up at the beginning, is that we're building and discovering as we go. So a lot of structure of the Renaissance Explorers doesn't exist yet. There's a lot more questions than answers. So if you're feeling like this is a little bit chaotic, that's kind of by design, because as a group, we're going to be building those structures. So we're kind of building it and discovering as it goes. We're going to find our own compensation. We're going to figure out our own roles. We're going to figure out how we want to govern ourselves. Like all of these things we're going to walk through. So it's a co-creative learning and building journey. It's kind of fun that way. The last step is to remind you all to join Discord if you haven't already, and then grab the Explorer's role. So ping someone who already is holding that role, and then they can assign it to you so that you can get tagged if there's anything about the Renaissance Explorers that you need to know. Yeah, so that's kind of everything. So what I want to do is we got about 30 minutes left in this hour. Let's make sure there isn't other slides. Let's stop sharing. And I want to give space for everyone to kind of introduce themselves. So here's our first, foray into decentralized governance. We have two options here, and we can all vote as a group. We can either break out into breakout groups and have about 5 per group, and we can have a little bit more time to really get to understand and know each other. So it'll give us now a minute or 2 per person. Or we could do it as a whole group, and then we have, about 30 seconds to a minute, and we all stay here in one group and talk with each other. Julia, I see you have your hand up, so I'm going to pass it to Julio first, and then we can do that vote.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to make this clear that these spaces that we talked about, the inner space, the outer space, and the storytelling space, we have, like what Anna said, we have like core teams or people that already are gathering around, and we are serving you as the explorers to help bring structure to all these interactions. So there's about 10 or 11 of us, and we are having meetings to kind of try to organize and orchestrate this space. And if you feel the calling and if you want to join these core teams, just talk to us, and we are of course open and want to serve you the best way we can. So I just wanted to bring this up. Thank you.
Awesome. And if you have questions, which I'm sure you do, we're going to do that after the end, after everyone's had a chance to introduce themselves. So we have 2 votes. We have some reactions that we can do. Let's go ahead and do ta-da, that little celebration one, if we want to stay as a whole group. If you want to break out into breakout groups, go ahead and do a heart. So maybe we can vote now, and maybe it'll be obvious, and I don't have to count. So choose which one you want to do. Heart for breakout groups, ta-da if you want to stay in one group. looks like the celebration's winning, so we're going to stay as one group. So I'm going to try to do pretty well facilitated here. Let's try to do 30 seconds to a minute at maximum. Let's try to keep it short so that we can actually get through everyone and still have some space for some questions afterwards. After you go, just pass it to somebody random and we'll go from there. How does that sound? Awesome. Then I will go ahead and I will pass it to Michael.
Hey, Reiki. Hello, everybody. Michael Haupt in Cape Town. I was involved with seeds right in the early days, but haven't been that closely involved. My particular interest is in very large-scale storytelling. So in other words, how do we legitimize seeds in the eyes of government, big business, etc. I'm very pleased to be here. And let me hand it over to Jedediah.
Good morning. Yeah, just recently became aware of seeds and got excited about getting involved. Still wrapping my head around all the possibilities and intricacies of it. So don't have a clear idea yet of exactly how I see myself or want to fit in, but looking forward to exploring that with you all. Well, is it Jan?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Jan. I'm speaking from Brazil. Really happy to be here and just sensing into a calling. I felt like this will be a really nice journey. And I've been part of SEEDS for a few months already. I help supporting the project named Meet Citizens. And I've been part of the regenerations. No, I forgot the name. Tools for Regenerative Renaissance. Yeah, the course. It was amazing. And yeah, just feel that this will be really interesting. And I already see lots of faces that I've interacted before. So looking forward. And I'll pass to Nikki.
I'm going to derail real quick with 2 prompts in case you want them. So 1, what's your passion? And 2, what brings you here? So if you feel like you don't have something to say, you can answer either one of those. Nikki.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Nikki. I'm joining from the Netherlands. And I got into seeds fairly recently in March. And I'm really looking forward to getting deeper into the core tenets of what it's all about and sense into what we're building as an organism. And I'm going to be joining the storytellers group to collect the wisdom that's emerging from everybody and try to share it with the larger audience, with all the citizens. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. How about you, Lineke?
Hi everyone, I'm Lineke. I am currently in Canada, moving to Portugal hopefully in September. I'm really keen to join the storytellers group, and I'm a little bummed that what I saw in the schedule is that it is 9 a.m. in European time. So that will be very hard for me to join while I'm still in Canada. But I'm really passionate about this because I have a background in knowledge translation, which really means taking complex knowledge and making it understandable and accessible to and fun to a larger audience. And I'm looking forward to contribute to this somehow, even if I can't participate in the morning meetings. And once I'm in Europe, then I can of course participate, but that's going to take a few more months. Troy, you want to go next?
Sure. Good morning, guys, or morning for me. I'm Troy. I've been in seats in Haifa for quite some time, most recently as the orchestrator and facilitator at the Game of Seeds. And I'm a musician and an artist, and why I'm here is, I see, Seeds is really a place where everybody can have their dreams come true. And it can actually be a tangible thing. That's what we're trying to bring to life with the Game of Seeds. So I'm thrilled to be here and co-creating this with you all. And I will pass to, how about Bart?
Art. I call myself a social entrepreneur, freelancer. Worked a lot in concepting, always trying to make the concept as conscious, unifying as possible. And I'm currently working at Earth Today, a platform that's like a portal to create awareness as well, renaissance as well. And what I was really of like what is already there, because I've always been into like thing like decentralized, regenerative in terms of governance. Really passionate about it and really want to dive deeper into it and do a lot with it. So really excited to be here. And then I forgot to pass. I will pass it on to
I didn't hear who he passed it to, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Andrea.
Thank you, Reiki. Hey, everyone. Yeah, I'm Andrea. I'm based in Hamburg in Germany. I would say I'm passionate about to explore the relationship between inner and outer transformation. This is also why I joined this group. I'm part of the movement building circle in Haifa since 3 lunar cycles now. I'm a trained computer scientist and integral coach and a proud mom of 2. And yeah, I'm here to co-create a better what's next for us and the generations to come. And I pass it on to Julio.
Hi there. So I'm Julio from Brazil, and I'm very excited with Seeds and Haifa and the whole movement. I joined about 6 months ago, maybe more, and really inspired by this possibility to forge this renaissance together with people like-minded and like-hearted. And it's very, yeah, I seem to have found my place, I feel like I belong here, and I really like to co-create with all the people. And yeah, super excited and want to see where we can go next and co-create this beautiful new civilization maybe that I want to live in and have all my friends and family and everyone live in. So that's it. Passing on to Tainara.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm Tainara, also speaking from Brazil. I'm enrolled within the SIDS community since January this year, when I started to attend the first class for the course, Tools for Regenerative Renaissance. And since I'm in touch with this community, I can only say that lots of things changed in my life and in my own perception. I love the awareness this community brings, the talks, the co-creations. I'm currently enrolled in the 5th cohort on the Ambassadors Academy with some faces I can see around, and being more active also within the Brazilian community. I'm very, very excited to be here, and I wanted to share that I really believe in what we are co-creating together, and in every single you that are sitting here to have this moment. Also to Julio, that was a beautiful gateway and a friend to bring both me and my partner Ognian, that couldn't attend to the meeting but is also enrolled here with us. We had that talk as a task from the course. And he just showed this beautiful universe and environment to us. And since there, we just can't let it go. And we are here for everything, guys. And I'm passing to the beautiful Anna.
Thank you, Tainara. Yes, answering Alan in the chat. Yes, the Brazilian community is huge in seeds. I'm also Brazilian, speaking from France at the moment. I have been exploring this beautiful environment and ecosystem for a couple of months now. And I have been called to the Renaissance Explorers for whatever reason. And I'm here, and I'm very happy to be here and very happy to be guiding the storytelling space at the moment. And very excited to welcome all explorers here today, and very excited as to what is going to happen from now on. Yeah, that's me. I'm passing on to Eric.
Wow. Unfortunately, I can't hear you. Can anyone else? No. There it is.
Yeah, I'll use my computer mic. Thank you. Yeah, good morning. Good morning from Mexico. My name's Eric. I've recently been kind of asked by life to show up significantly more for spaces that are doing significantly more, particularly to, I think, craft a compelling vision of the future that people want to live in, and then actually give people the tools, technologies, and ideas to do that. And Seeds and Haifa sit at a very beautiful intersection between those two in my head. So I'm currently in the process of just diving as deep as possible, as quickly as possible into the nuts and bolts here. And the energy and the excitement of you guys has been really, really beautiful. So I'm really excited for this. Thank you. I will pass it to Josh. Josh, sorry.
Eric, thank you. And so funny you passed me. I was just smiling the fact that you said giving people the tools they need, because that's exactly the work that I do as well. You can go into specifics maybe another time, but I'm Josh from West London, UK, and seeing a lot of familiar faces here. I've been on the Seeds journey since about January this year. Also took the Tools of Regenerative Renaissance course. I'm sure we're seeing a lot of benefits of that already, and are now a steward with Nikki and several others for the course. In cohort 3 of the Seeds Academy, Seeds Ambassador Academy, and I'm really drawn to this space from all of you wonderful people, seeing the real diversity, the real strength in diversity from locations, from philosophies, from different viewpoints, and the fact we can all come together and share in the same space is really unique and something that I want to continue to participate in. So I will pass over to my friend Nicholas. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nicholas. I'm working on the Seed smart contracts for the last 1.5 years, and it's kind of the implementation of the game guide. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. But to be honest, like from the development and from this space, there's a huge jump that I'm feeling because of this beautiful energy here that all you guys are bringing. So I feel really excited that this movement is, you know, growing like this right now with all of you. And yeah, this is absolutely amazing. I'm currently in Bali, and yeah, I'm gonna probably also stay here, and I will pass it on to Max.
Thank you, Nicholas. I'm here in the sunny south of Germany, and I will probably also stay here for a bit more. I am passionate about life, of just everything, basically. It's probably the reason why I'm in every single space available here, and I encourage you to do the same if you have the capacity. It's a beautiful journey, beautiful people. I had the pleasure of reading all of your invitation submissions, and Oh my God, you are amazing. Just so you know already. If you don't know yet, you are amazing already. So thank you for being here, and I'm super excited about that. Lots of things to do, and I pass it on to Dimitri.
Thank you, Max. I'm Dimitri. I live in New Zealand, and one of my passions is to bring and bridge seeds with the local community. And this ball is already rolling towards that direction, and I'm finding what are those tools to allow the farmers, average farmer and elderly lady to help actually be involved with the seeds, because those are the people who are willing to support new technologies and new economies, but don't have access to it. So I want to be this bridging part with a bigger community, which will help to build momentum. And I'll pass it to Irina.
Thank you, Dimitri. I'm Irina from Romania, and I've just realized that hearing all of you here, it's been quite 1 year since I joined SIDS, which has been quite of an amazing year. Such an inspiration from meeting all of you and so many other beautiful people. Kind of my latest playground has been Samara with beautiful Samarians. Some of them are here, and nice to see them. And yeah, so it's beautiful to be here with all of you. I'm super excited about this Explorer space and what can emerge from here. And I'm passionate about bringing this to my local community. And I'm passing on to Tina.
Thank you, Irina. Here from Colorado, Lala Gardens. I've been intent on, I'm usually outside the Overton window, so it's really exciting to be speaking language that is resonant with a movement. Like, we've been in a crisis of imagination, and we get to step forward into our own gardens and express our renaissance within our own lives and in our communities. And I've been seeing Lala Gardens as a commons since 2015, and I'm just really excited to see that we can start putting these practices into real gardens and really start the local work. So I'm here on a lot of different levels, but I have writing in my background and art and markets, and I've got some history. So I'm so excited to be here. How about Tamara? Are you here? How about Zhao? Oh, sorry, go.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical things here, but thank you. I'm very delighted to be in this group. I say hello to everybody from Nicaragua. I think I might be the only one from Central America here. Yes, I have been very involved during years of peace work and understanding what it takes for us to move forward into a regenerative way of life. However, time and time again, I come to the knowing and understanding that we need to work in our inner structures of capitalism, our inner structures of violence, inner structures of all things that we have taken upon and deliberately all the time just exercise without knowing. So I'm here very delighted to be welcomed in this group. I'm very excited. Next time I will work my camera to have more connection. So thank you. And yes, to say I'm an artist, I'm a musician, a biologist, and ecological awareness ambassador. So muchas gracias. Thank you, thank you.
And maybe she passed it to Carly.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I'm Carly. I'm also in Central America. I'm in Guatemala. My passions are art and regenerative agriculture. what brought me here today is I've been in the ecosystem for a little over a year, working on the ground, trying out different projects with some success and with a lot of learning. And what brings me here today is I really want to see, it's a really important thing right now in the community that I live in, and then also within the seeds ecosystem is regenerative or restorative justice. And I hope to help champion the restorative justice piece of our ecosystem because it's so needed in the world, and it's so needed in our ecosystem. And with that, Reiki, can you pass it for me? Because I'm on my phone today, so I can't see everyone.
Sure. Let's go with Cal.
That's hello, everybody. Joao? Or was it Miguel?
Take it away, Miguel. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm tuning in from Uruguay, south of Brazil. And my passion is in meditation and to find new ways of how we can live together as a species on this planet amongst each other and together with the bigger whole community of other beings. And I have built up an ecological spiritual community here in Uruguay the last 7 years. So I have a lot of experience from permaculture background and sustainable living, and I love to bring this into this space. And within the ecosystem, I feel immensely attracted to the Samara space. I'm completely in love with it, and looking how I can participate there to the most extent. I pass it on to Javier.
Gracias, Miguel. Hi, good afternoon, explorers. I'm Javier from Central Spain, and at core, I am a creative. I'm kind of full spectrum. I'm a musician, and I like to apply sacred geometry and ancient methodology and ritualization to most things that I do. I've also been designing for the last 9 years a game, a reality game for pilgrims in the Camino de Santiago. So this is another point of synchronicity of the many that I have found with seeds. I'm absolutely blown and I am hooked up. I'm addicted now. This is very addictive. You are all very addictive. Do you know that? Thank you. I'll pass it on. Ricky, pass it on for me because I cannot see everybody.
Sure. We haven't yet to hear from Daya.
Hi everyone. I'm in Southern Oregon, and I'm new to seeds. I have been working with Tina in Lala Gardens and Sacred Rebel Studios, Justin, Joseph, which has led me here. And it's just phenomenal that I've lived a lot of years with all of my gifts and nowhere to put them, and no one that was really interested. And it's finally the time. And of course, I've been guided here. It's, let's see. I'm also full spectrum. I'm a futurist, I'm a mystic, I'm an artist. I'm a bridger. I have vast knowledge, and I'm just so eager to share and support and make this all happen, this new renaissance. Thank you. And I'll pass it to Carly.
We're getting close to the end, so maybe I'll start passing it because I've tracked it.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Al.
Sure.
Skipped over you. Thanks, Dad.
Joe. You meant Joe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, me.
Joe?
Sorry. Okay. I'm from Lumia, Brazil. My background is working with agroforestry, and I was living in a
Santo Daime church, community. So what brings me here, it's I was searching how we can, with the potential of the internet, create financing people who are changing the world. So through these searchings, I find hi-fi and seeds, and it's amazing to be here. My passion, I think my purpose is to creating these connections between everything that's happening from my local space, from all these global initiatives, creating maps, perhaps, and yeah, many things helping with that. Thanks so much. I'll pass it. Apostle, I think that's not good.
Thank you. Do you hear me? Okay, yeah. So I'm a software guy who also I have some experience with meditation and self-development work. I do art, and I'm very interested in exploring how the paradigm of decentralized organizations and decentralization works, whether it's positive and negative sides, and the whole I mainly want to see seeds grow into a strong and resilient community and movement that can have positive impact on hardcore regenerative issues like protecting rainforests and regenerating bioregions and sustainability all over the world. So I'd love to contribute to that. And yeah, I'm not sure who else is.
We haven't heard from Julie yet.
Who should I pass it on?
Julie?
Hello, I'm a learner. I don't know very much about seeds, but I've got a lot of background in environmental work. My skills are in complex systems analysis and creativity. So I'm very interested in how all these things fit together. I'm also an outdoor events leader. So I wondered if that would be useful in planning, getting people interested in the regenerative culture, because a lot of it is based on the outdoors. That's me. Thank you.
And thank you. Now I'm running out of who hasn't gone. I think Arian, have we heard from you? Yep.
Hey, my name is Arian. I live in Hamburg, Germany. I'm an artist, graphic designer, painter. I write poetry, and I'm very excited about this new culture that seems to be popping up in everyone's mind, decentralized, and bringing together all the great minds that have been working on this the last century. And I think it's like a necessity what is happening here. Like I heard like Reiki had this idea of founding a community, but it's not like this thing that you can set up somewhere. It has to be connected to everything else, and then it works together. And I think this is what all the great companies, Google and Amazon, are doing. They are decentralizing the work, so one person can do something and a million people can benefit from it. And when we're doing this, everyone will win. Yes, thanks.
Ooh, thank you. I believe we got everyone. Am I correct here?
Alan is missing.
Alan, there it is. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Alan. I've been in Seeds since October last year, but I've been working more intensely with Samara since mid-January, something I love doing, and yeah, I'm still at it. And just to show a little bit the, so to say, diversity and the welcoming of this space. I'm a completely metropolitan person. My contribution to ecological regeneration is that I like walking in the forest sometimes and watching documentaries. So, so I have zero experience in any like real regenerative ecological work. However, I would like this world to be at least 100 times better than it is now. And I'm really good at holistic strategic navigation. And I love huge, complex, chaotic systems with many different variables. Yeah, lots of opportunities, lots of threats and everything. So this is one of the best playgrounds I could have imagined. And everyone's nice. Also, just one thing, like for new people coming into this space, there is no there is no kind of spirituality one must have, or any type of like thinking system which prevails in here and which can't be challenged. So I'm an agnostic completely, and yeah, there's no problem with that at all concerning the many spiritual things we do. So I just wanted to mention that as well. You be yourself when you're here. And yeah, for everyone who has done a lot of project work already, one thing I'd like to ask you already is compile what happened, compile the problems and the real benefits and good things that happened. All of that information is extremely valuable. The more we get, the more we can look at, the more we can create. So your information can have 10 times the impact than it had with you yourself, your own project, if we share it and look at it together. Thank you all. Thank you.
Ooh, thank you, Alan. So I'm being mindful. We are 5 minutes over the hour. I love being punctual, but we also started late. So in the future, if we could show up on time, we can get started on time, we can end on time, and everyone can be happy on time. Wow, you guys are all incredible. I also had the pleasure of reading some of your applications. I don't like calling it that. I don't know, introduction forms. And it was incredibly inspiring. So this is gonna be a really, really epic course session, whatever we're calling these things. So we'll all get to know each other a lot more and have a lot more connected space, and the groups will have smaller numbers of us on the calls, and we'll do more breakout spaces. So we'll get to know each other a lot more, but we won't do any more of these full space introduction sessions. So we get really into the juicy details here. Also starting next week, we are closing the container, so no new people will join. Why? It's because we want to make sure we can go deep. We don't want to have new energy come in that keeps pulling us up. We want to be able to take the same group and go as deep and as far as we need to go without, you know, kind of getting pulled back to the surface. We will continue to do these sessions, and also one of the takeaways of this first one is to create a course. So that's one of the core groups that are here. They're actually mapping out an actual structured course of helping learn what we're unpacking here. So that'll be something that we can offer, much like the tools of the regenerative renaissance. So that's one of the key takeaways that we want to offer to the world after we finish this journey together. A couple other thoughts to leave you all with, and then we'll close to be on time. I dislike, because I'm radical, announcing what countries we're from. I'm much more interested if we announce what bioregion, what river we're by, what mountain we're by. I like that a little bit better because we're thinking more in terms of ecological boundaries, which is something we're going to start wanting to do in Seeds. Think in terms of ecological boundaries and borders, opposed to, you know, superficial nation state boundaries. So just a thing out there, if you want to introduce yourself from where you're at in the world, find out what bioregion you're a part of. It's really cool that way. Second thing here is whatever practice you love doing, find out what you feel like you're meant to bring to this space. I know it's going to be something beautiful and powerful, but find out what your purpose is, what perspective you want to bring, and then hold that perspective, kind of like a hat. Some people have played like the white hat, black hat type of thing, but maybe find a perspective that you really want to bring to each one of the groups and then hold that perspective. If it's a perspective of, you know, local food groups or indigenous wisdom or bioregional regeneration, whatever it is, whatever you're really inspired by, bring that perspective and ensure that that perspective is being seen. That's what's really important here, is that if each one of us holds on to a perspective and make sure we bring it. And not bringing a perspective is not participating, and then why are you even here? You know, so it's another call out to not be quiet, to, you know, and if you ever feel like this space isn't welcoming or generative enough for you to be able to speak your truth, please find a host and let them know, so that we can shift the energy here, so that we can bring those perspectives to the space. And if it's something that you don't feel like sharing because you feel like it's too controversial, please share exactly that. That thing that you feel like is too controversial, that's probably the most needed to be shared here, right? Okay, I'm going to leave it at that so that we don't keep going. We will start off the next sessions with any questions. So I'm sure more will come to Discord if you have any questions. We'll continue to create asynchronously. That's the last pattern I'm going to leave us with, is we're not just creating in these calls. A lot of stuff gets done on Discord and async and other groups, and feel free to, you know, hop on a group with 5 of us if you have a different topic you want to build a working group around. That's also great. And then these groups can just be where we come together to share information. So with all that being said, wishing you all a really beautiful day, night, evening, wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you next week. There is no reading or anything necessary for next week. That's when we're going to start introducing some of the reading and the home fun, the home play, whatever we want to call it. That's going to prepare us for each one of the sessions. But this particular one is really about just finding that perspective. You know, clear your mind, use this time to really tap into the energy you felt here and find out what you want to bring to these spaces. So I'll leave that with you all, and I wish you all a beautiful time. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Feel free to unmute yourself and say bye. That's always beautiful too.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Much love.